If you know me, you all know I love me some Aliens. Aliens is my favorite movie. Getting to write a canonical novel in the Aliens universe, it's called Aliens Phalanx. You should read it. Remains one of the highlights of my career. So you know that when Aliens Earth rolled around, we had to watch that shit. We had to judge that shit. And now we got to talk about that shit.
And we will do just that right after this quick break.
Hey, fucking nice job. Solid. Way to go. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Welcome to Deep Cuts, the bonus episode of the Scott Sigler Slices Fiction Podcast, where a sci-fi author and an audiobook narrator discuss things and stuff in the world of fiction and pop culture and xenomorphs. I am Scott Sigler, sci-fi horror author known far and wide as the future Dark Overlord.
And I am A.B. Sigler, audiobook narrator and publisher at Empty Set Entertainment. And tonight, we're talking all about Alien Earth.
A reminder, this is a bonus episode in the Scott Sigler Slices podcast feed. It is not part of any particular story. You don't have to listen to this episode to keep up on the tale we're telling right now, but we think you'll like this peek behind the storyteller curtain because it's full of fucking acid for blood.
And spoiler alert, here is how this episode is going to work. We're going to talk for 15 minutes, spoiler-free, about what Alien Earth is, who's in it, what it's about, how long is it, where you watch it, all that jazz. And then when we go to our commercial break at 15 minutes in, when we come back from that, it is going to be spoiler central.
Yes.
There are only 8 episodes of Alien Earth, so if you have a desire to watch it, you should go ahead and opt out after 15 minutes of this podcast after the commercial break.
I'm going to repeat what she said, but with a male voice, which somehow makes it, more gravitas.
He's heap-eating, you guys.
I never heard of heap-eating before. That's so fucking good. It's so cringeworthy and so good.
I have to say,
Heap-eat.
if you Google heap-eating, the people who are credited with creating that word
God, it's so good.
are 2 of our very dear friends on Earth, the noisy astronomer, Nicole Bellucci.
God, she's so badass.
And my best friend on Earth, Maria Walters. Are credited. If you Google heap-eating, they get the credit for that. I am so proud of them, and not just
It's
for
so
that,
good.
but
Yeah. We're going to heap-eat. Listen, first 15 minutes of this episode before the commercial break, generalities, concepts, philosophy, continuity, all of those things. After the commercial break, we are going to spoil all of the things. You ready to go, babe?
I am.
All right, let's get into it.
Let us get into it. So now you're going to put this one down at the bottom, and you're going to get to your working document. There we go. Steve, you can cut that out if you like.
Okay. Steve, you can cut this up. Where does it start? I'm not sure what page this. We need headers on these pages.
Flip it over.
Jesus.
Right there. I handed it to you the way it works. So
God damn it, of course you did.
You're going to decide if you read that or I read that. That is the
I'll
Alien.
read it.
Okay, there you go. And let's get into it.
The synopsis of Alien Earth. When a mysterious space vessel crash lands on Earth, Wendy and a ragtag group of tactical soldiers make a fateful discovery that puts them face to face with the planet's greatest threat.
So, Aliens Earth is a Disney Plus / I think you can watch it on Hulu. It's so far 1 season long.
Yeah.
And that 1 season is 8 episodes. I will tell you a handful of things off the cuff, and then I'm going to tell you a handful of things that journalists on the internet who are not me, but who are recognized in this field, talk about Aliens Earth. So what I'll say is I know from watching it that this takes place before anything that we've seen in Aliens, in all the canon that we have so far.
This takes place before, we're going to get into that in a second, but this takes place before Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sort of canonically, conveniently, the things that happen in this TV series do not affect the canon in any way, shape, or form that we already know about the canon of Alien. I will also say this is the first time that Alien in in its master, all of the Alien canon has been serialized on TV. And I say that because I think that's important because we're only used to seeing it in other longer,
Yes.
more detailed formats.
Is this the first? This is the first Aliens TV show.
It is. That's what I'm
Holy
saying.
shit.
Yeah, and I think that's important for this idea. But I'm going to read you what the series description that The Nerdist gave this show before it came out, but they had some information about it.
Okay.
This is what they said. The Alien franchise has been terrifying audiences since 1979. But what if I told you the scariest thing in Noah Hawley's Alien Earth was not the xenomorph, but a sheep with the creepiest stare you've ever seen?
It's creepy.
Somehow, after so many decades, both bad and good versions of the Alien universe, Alien Earth manages to, quote, not only, quote, give the fans what they want, end quote, but also add entirely new parameters to the mythology that Ridley Scott invented years ago. And don't worry, we'll circle back to that sheep. Trust us, and you can trust us. That's nightmare
Did you
fuel.
write down who wrote that?
Matt Bonavoy, I think.
Matt Bonavoy. That's
Yeah.
Matt. Fucking solid.
Yeah,
Good job.
trust us. It's nightmare fuel. But just to get the big question out of the way, yes, Alien Earth is good. In fact, it's frequently great. And I thought that specific intro, because I feel very much that way. I love that it's the first time it's been in a series. I love that it's some things about it frustrated me and surprised me because it's serialized in an episodic way, which we haven't had before. We've had it sort of serialized in a movie 5-act way.
I would say the 3-act, 5-act movie, that's an encapsulated beginning, middle, and an end. Never before in the Aliens franchise have we had, go back for a little bit. The Star Wars, the first 2 trilogies of the Star Wars are absolutely serialized trilogies. There is a completion of a story, but also a cliffhanger ending leading into episode 2, leading into episode 5, episode 6, episode 2, episode 3, etc. Aliens has not done that yet.
Right.
So when A says, this is serialized long-form storytelling for a TV format, that has never been done before with Aliens.
At all. And
fabulous.
it's weird because I think I bumped up against that a handful of times because I'm used to the story being told in a longer format to completion. And having to wait or having to go back or things like that kind of frustrated me because I think I'm used to it in a different way. I think I had the same problem with Loki.
Well, Loki, yes. Loki, the problem we had with Loki, which probably is a whole episode we could do at a later time, is Loki broke the entire continuity, we were watching a chronological watch through of all the Marvel properties.
Scammer in the chat.
What's that? Scammer in the chat. Oh,
Thank you,
Mehdi
Nyoka.
Hassan.
Be careful.
Yeah, I know, be careful. Did I block somebody else?
I don't think so. Try again.
Shit.
Oh, you did. It just hasn't reloaded. Sorry, you guys. Sorry, Steve.
Reload.
We'll snap
We
us
lost
back
all of
in.
our chats. So okay.
All right.
So let's get back to okay. Snap in whatever you want. I think we should talk about the cast real quick.
Let's snap in again.
What am I snapping in with? What did I miss?
You were talking about the serialization.
Oh yeah, I think we're done with that though.
Oh, okay. Then
So-
snap in with the cast.
Let's talk about the cast of the show. It's a very fucking rock solid cast. Whoever the casting director is, we should have wrote this down. We didn't. The casting director is fucking lights out. Noah Hawley's general grasp of the aliens milieu is absolutely exceptional. Full props to Noah Hawley for being like, it's alien, it's aliens, and we are ignoring Prometheus, we're ignoring Covenant. Those are not part of the hardcore, old school alien fans, the thing that made this a multi-million-dollar franchise. Prometheus and Covenant and Aliens vs. Predator are not kind of in that mix. It's alien,
Right.
it's aliens, and Noah has been very open online saying that. But the cast, Sydney Chandler as Marcy / Wendy, phenomenal. Amazing work. I really wish we had get these actors up. But the female lead in this is exceptional. Alex Lothar is Joe Hermit, a brother to Marcy/Wendy, does a pretty good job. Essie Davis is Dame Sylvia. Samuel Belkin is Boy Cavalier.
We'll get back to him too.
Steals the goddamn show. He is such a piece of shit that even though I know this is fiction. I know that he's an actor. If I meet that dude face to face, I am probably going to punch him in the throat. I'm probably going to punch him right in his goddamn shitty little grinning mouth.
Such a compliment. Such a compliment to an actor. Such a compliment to an actor. Such a beautiful thing to say in such a horrifyingly physical way.
Yeah. It's the best I can do. Dawn Shipley in our chat room says Alien Earth casting was done by Kate Rhodes James.
Dawn,
that
thank
is
you for
fantastic.
helping us out.
Dr. T. Campbell, you're dead to me. We're going to move on from there. Babu Sise as Moro. Adarsh Gurab as Slightly does a great, that's a really complicated fucking part that he plays. Really complicated. Does a great job. Arena James as Curly/Jange. Lily Newmark as Nibs. We're going to get back to this. Lily Newmark is a striking looking human being who has episodes where she is like, I'm like, holy fuck, we are looking at a future Oscar winner. Maybe two, I don't know. And other episodes where like, I don't pay attention to it at all because it comes down to the writing and the directing, but she's very good. I don't think.
I assure you, and the acting. If
Okay.
she's got to be the main character, she's the main character. And if she's not the main character, she's not going to choose scenery. She's going to let the main character be the main character because she's that talented. That's my thought.
Jonathan Jai as Smee. David Rizal as Arthur Sylvia. He has a tough time of it, bros. Not gonna lie to you. Mulber Ross as Rashidi. Adrian Edmondson as Adam Eanes. I don't know who that character is.
He's the synth Boy Wonders synth.
Oh boy, he does a great job. He fucking does a great job. And then, ladies and gentlemen, my best friend.
You go way back.
Timothy Oliphant as Kirsch. Tim and me go way the fuck back, you guys. Way the fuck back. Sandra Yee Sinsendiver as Utani. Kit Young as Toodles, who does a great job. Noah Hawley, Hermit, and Noah Hawley, so the guy who put the show together, the showrunner,
and
plays
writer-director
plays the father of the Hermit father. Does a great job.
I wanted to point this out because I think it's lovely because it sort of mirrors Scott's desires for his own creations and his own IP. Noah Hawley wrote, directed, and show ran this series. It is absolutely his love letter to the Aliens universe. And he played, we'll talk a little bit about this, but one of the characters, our main character, has is a hybrid. She has a synthetic body that a humanity has been uploaded into, a life has been uploaded into. And we'll talk a little bit about that. That is not a spoiler. The ability to do that amazing thing well is a gift. However, the part that Noah Hawley chose for himself is the parent to the human that gets uploaded into our main character. And I thought that was such a beautiful thing, one, for him choosing to have a cameo in his story, and two, for it being the thing that sort of birthed the main character. I sort of, gifted the main character to the rest of the story. So I just wanted to say that.
So what we're going to start with is the philosophical concepts touched upon by Aliens Earth. And I have to admit, I was really surprised by this. They've done the whole synthetic thing, the android thing. They've done all that very well, even with the interactions with Predator and the larger concept of a synthetic human being. What they got into in season 1 was a concept called the uplift, the upload, where you're at some point, our technology as human beings will be advanced enough that you can take your intellect and upload it into a synthetic construct. Now, that could be completely in silica. You could be in a computer with no actual physical form. But what sci-fi writers for the last 30 years have been gunning for And I guess the optimal experience would be we want to be put into an indestructible android Terminator body. We want to become superhuman creatures that do not age, that cannot die. If they get destroyed, they just get rebooted, etc. And what Aliens did with this, like the first screen crawl in episode 1, which is called Neverland, is they break this down into a couple of different tiers. Number 1, human. You're just like us. You got a mama, you got a papa, you're going to get old and die. Then you are going to go, the next step of technology was a synthetic. A synthetic is a completely fabricated machine body, like what the Tesla company is working on right now with Optimus. Like that is a synthetic. In this show, the synthetic is indiscernible from a real human unless you actually know they are a synthetic, which is easy to tell after a few minutes of conversation, but you can't tell right out of the gate because they look like us, they sound like us, they act like us. Phase 2 is a thing called a cyborg, which is a biological human. It's a biological human, but with various parts replaced in them. So synthetic parts in a human body. So you've got a synthetic, you've got a cyborg, and what Aliens Earth gets into is the concept of a hybrid, a fully synthetic, durable, borderline indestructible body, but with an actual biological human consciousness uploaded into it. So out of all the drama and all the xenomorph fun and all the great monsters in this film, the highbrow concept of Aliens Earth is it's pitting these four archetypes against each other, partnering, interacting, conflicting, so that we start to get an idea of what it's going to be like if we live long enough to see these things actually happen in our world. So that alone should be enough to get you to watch Aliens Earth. Also, if you really like monsters, which I love monsters, some brilliant shit in there. Babe, what else before the commercial break do we got to do?
So I do want to read one other series review, I guess, from The Guardian. I think Nerdist talked about things before anything was published, and The Guardian talks about Alien Earth having watched it as a consumer, just like we did. And so the series review from The Guardian said the fascinating thing about Noah Hawley's Alien Earth, other than the fact that it has completely ditched any alignment with those more recent films, is that it appears to have decided pretty early on that there's a new boss villain in town. One that's not quite so icky, but is infinitely more chilling. Mankind.
Well, before we go to commercial break, I got to say, throughout one of the issues I have with the Aliens franchise, of which I am deeply immersed and have, did I mention I have a canonical novel called, did I mention I have a canonical novel called Aliens Phalanx, which at this point is, see my name? The Aliens in my name. This is canon right now, literally canon right now. One of the nits I have on the Aliens franchise is this constant, never-ending, oh, hey, the bad guys aren't the monsters. The real bad guys are the people in their greed corporate complex. For what you just said, like, this has been going on for 40 years. The human greed has always been the real bad guy.
Yes. And okay. Before we go to spoiler land after this quick break, which we are going to do in just a second, I think the difference with this series is not that it's this monolith of mankind. It is specifically evil human beings. Specifically evil human beings we know who think they are gods that they are not. Like, we know them individually in this series. And I do think that's a break that I really like. Anyway. We do have to take a short, quick break. If you can listen to the ads that follow my voice, there's just one or two, and it really, really helps the show. I do want to remind you that when we come back from this break, the rest of this cast will spoil Alien Earth. So if you have to leave here, we love you very much. We'll see you next week.
Okay, ready to get into it?
Yeah.
Hey, dude, fucking big knucks. Strong job. You guys,
Snapping back.
this is all cut out from the podcast. Fucking A's been on fucking point the last 4 episodes, just killing it. Ready?
Yes, you see where we are? Right here on the red
Hey,
one, on the
for-
colorful one.
Let's try and work this into 2 separate scripts from now on. I should be able to pick up this paper.
It is, that is what I do now.
This one should be done. This one should go from here. So let's just make a separate deep cuts.
Okay.
Because we go to different dates. Different days. We're gonna get that. Ready?
Okay.
Every week I have to go through this. I have 1 fucking line. It's a limited number of syllables. I should know this. Ready,
Sorry,
guys?
Steve.
Jesus Christ.
At least you'll have something to do.
Every week I'm fucking embarrassing. Ready? Welcome back to Deep Cuts.
This episode, we are talking about Alien Earth. From this point forward till the end of the episode, every single thing about this episode and our opinions on it this series on and our opinions on it. Sorry. From this point forward, everything about this series and our opinions on all 8 episodes will be spoilerified. So if you don't want to be spoiled, just come on back next week and we'll stop talking about Aliens Earth.
Until next time, and as always, go fuck yourself. We're going to spoil it. Here we go. Let's get it. We're going to now do a walkthrough of our thoughts on each episode. This will be very brief, but we're going to get through it as quickly as we can. Ready?
I am.
Episode 1, Neverland. When a spaceship crash lands on Earth, a sister searches for her brother amidst an unexpected alien threat. Episode 1, fucking 5 stars, 10 out of 10, fantastic, special effects, acting, setup, concept. Let's create anticipation that will pull you through an entire
Info
series.
dump by character, not by info dump. And
Yes.
that is my favorite part. Letting us see what's important by making it multiple point of view, which is harder to do than an info dump. Points.
Tyler Miller in the chat room says, Angus, which is a character in my book, Earth Core Mom
love
Fitzroy,
it.
versus Boy Wonder, who is smarter, who is more devious. First of all, I have to mention, if you listen to the podcast, we do this live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. You can join us, me in the chat room, at twitch.tv/ScottSigler, youtube.com/ScottSigler, or facebook.com/ScottSigler. Come hang out with us. It's a great time. To answer your question, Tyler, as to who is smarter, Angus, without a doubt.
No doubt.
As to who is more devious, I got to go with Boy Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do
let's
too.
go through the episodes. Episode 1, Neverland. If you hear the sound of my voice right now, if I am touching your cochlear nerve, which I like to do, I like to touch that cochlear, you need to watch
Night
episode
pen.
1. Episode 1 of Aliens Earth is worth 50 minutes of your time. It is an exceptional work of art in TV, in horror, and storytelling. Fantastic. Let's move on to episode 2.
Sure. Episode 2, Mr. October. Tensions are high between rival corporations. A reunion takes place and a secret is revealed. This is interesting to me because we start to see Alien Earth, its canon, depart from the canon we already know. And this is the first time, this second episode is the first time that I start to be like, oh, it's not enough. What is happening? This is going too fast. Who is happening? What is that? Because they break in episode 2 and we meet Boy Genius.
Boy Genius, which is, let me find the actor's name again. What am I looking for here?
Boy Cavalier. His name is Samuel Blanken.
Samuel Blanken is, I'm going to punch that bitch right in his fucking snoot. I'm going to punch him in his snoot. He's such a piece of shit on screen. He does such a good job. He's so talented. He is so talented.
And again, anyone who is listening to this podcast, anybody who is in the chat room, I am an actor. I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Art, and the idea that the best compliment that Scott can give the actor who plays Boy Cavalier, aka the Boy Wonder, or the Boy Genius, sorry, is I love to hate that character, and if I saw that man in public, I would punch him. Is such a compliment.
Steve Rickenberg in the chat room says, Boy Wonder's actor is British too. So it's 100% acting. It's not even using his real voice. I have to say right now, no offense to my UK fans, my British fans, Australia, whatever the fuck, Canada, whatever the fuck, I don't care. I am not goddamn surprised that snooty, smarmy, more intelligent than us motherfucker is goddamn British. It doesn't surprise me at all. Because you know what he does? He sells the dude who walks in the bar, starts fucking chirping his jaw, and needs to get fucking knocked in the dick. He sells it extraordinarily well.
Let's move
all
on.
All the props. Episode 3, Metamorphosis. The team returns home with an unexpected cargo. An unsettling experiment occurs and a new talent is discovered. Within episode 1, 2, and 3, though, is the real meat of MEAT. Mm-hmm. The real meat of what does it mean to be human? And when a human takes their consciousness and transfers it to a synthetic form, are they still human or not? Now, the next 5 episodes try really hard to dive into that and try really hard to get very philosophical and very mental about it. Mm-hmm. But I believe it's the first 3 episodes where you're like, it will fuck you up. The first 3 episodes, if you sit and watch, it will really make you think like, where are we going as a species? When does technology overlap evolution and technology start to become the prominent driving force in the advancement of intellect as far as we know?
Absolutely. But I do want to talk, and I think mine is going to overlap maybe the first 4 episodes, and we're going to talk quite a bit about episode 4. But I want to say, sorry about that. I want to say there is a special confluence for me that I am going to say, in my opinion, Boy Cavalier, the Boy Genius, is entirely broken by what he went through to grow up. He is as broken as Nibs is. And he had to do it in his human body. And he had to do it, sadly, with gazillions of dollars, right? So I am saying this very purposefully, that the choice he makes, the cruelty, the cruel choice he makes to make that hybrid happen by taking a child, a non-developed child's brain, and then taking it out of its home and putting it in a synthetic is the cruelty that his father administered on this genius brain. It's he didn't break the cycle of violence, and that is, for me, a very tragic part of this story.
Yeah, and that concept, the things A is talking about, are part of the really deep, fucking really super good storytelling and the prognostication and the forward thinkingness of this show. We are heading towards some very deep issues as a species that anyone listening to the sound of my voice right now will probably be dead before this happens. But we are, within 2 or 3 generations, we are heading to some absolutely pinnacle moments that will shatter our concept of what life is, what soul is, what intelligence is. And it all leads up to episode number 4. We're going to spend a couple minutes on this. Episode number 4 is called Observation. An unexpected connection is formed while a covert plot puts everyone in danger. That is such a drastic simplification of episode 4. Is absolutely my top 10 best TV show episodes of all time. I took a few minutes to write some things down for this. Give me a minute, you guys. Hold on, here we go. What's really interesting to me about episode 4 is the entire show is written by, let me turn this off, come back here. Sorry. Steve, you can cut out these dead spaces. It's all good. Steve's our engineer, you guys. You're watching this after the fact or live. Steve takes the audio and fixes it. He fixes it. He's a fixer.
He is.
So episode 4 is the only episode written by Bobak Estefani, who did 9 episodes of WandaVision, which I really, really enjoyed, and 20 episodes
only 9
of Manifest.
Oh, right up our alley.
So
I didn't know this.
Episode 4 is co-written with Noah Hawley, who either co-wrote or wrote all the other episodes. And as a storyteller, like, this is my job. This is my fucking calling. This is my living. To watch episode 4 be the absolute pinnacle of this show for me in a franchise that is my entire life. I adore Aliens. I love it. I wish I could write for it again. To watch one episode fucking pop up and be like, holy shit. The amount of threading, the amount of concepts of not just this show, but the entire franchise. And Bobak did such an extraordinary job of episode 4. And here's the crazy thing. The crazy thing, it's the only episode he wrote in all of season 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's fascinating because we did really like Manifest.
It was
in
super
the
fun.
pandemic.
Super fun.
It was super fun. It was we just sort of surrendered to like, okay, and it was pretty fun. And WandaVision was extraordinary. I thought.
I'm sorry, Bobak Esfarini, but you guys,
Esfarjani.
The letters are very small.
I know. It's
I
that
need my
you're not wearing
glasses.
your glasses.
It's very, very
and
small.
I have adjusted to my contacts.
So,
all of you who have been with us on Deep Cuts.
All of you listening to this, watching this right now, all you need to worry about is if you look at IMDb and an episode is written by a gentleman named Bobak Bobak, I want you to pause, watch it, and pay attention because I think this motherfucker is absolutely fucking special. Episode 4 was sensational. And then A and I watched the rest of the series.
It's true. And what's interesting is we have I'm just going to introduce this idea to you guys right now that, go ahead.
I have to say, I just interrupted today. David Lamb brings up a point I want to make, but I forgot. To be fair, those children were terminally ill, which is a fascinating wrinkle in the whole thing. If the boy genius had not transferred the intellect of the children who would have died anyways to this synthetic creation, they would have winked out and been gone. And I want to ask you, since you brought that up, what are your thoughts about this on what I think is the real promise and premise of uplifting and syntheticness is we can end death. We can have a conceptual situation where we end death and you don't have to die. You just get transformed to a new entity. But these are kids. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Mine is probably a little bit of an unpopular opinion, but my opinion will always be that decision belongs to the soul that would upload into a hybrid being.
Okay.
Meaning that if I could choose to save a fetus that would otherwise die in a human body and then try and add to its intellect, that is not my decision. That is that mind's decision. So I think I could see the idea of saying, okay, well, we as a collective will decide, and a huge collective, probably a global collective, that just like we do all the time, that a child, an infant who can't speak, cannot give consent. An infant who cannot speak cannot give consent. A 4-year-old can't give consent. A 9-year-old can't give consent. So we've got to do that same thing. Now, I do think that has to be adjudicated sensitively, like lots of end-of-life decisions are. And so what I think is the person who would become a hybrid is the one who ultimately gets to make that decision. And if they are unable to make that decision based on a collective law, then that life winks out.
Okay, so to recap. So this is part of the depth of Aliens Earth and Noah Hawley's interpretation. Your thought is that if a terminally ill individual or a in utero individual who is not capable of communicating or making a decision gets their life saved by a technology, your take, if I understand this correctly, is they should not do that because that individual could not decide in a space where they do not have the capacity to decide.
Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because absolutely every other being who is making that decision gets to decide, which means the person who pays for them to be saved as an embryo that would otherwise die owns them and can do with them what they please.
And that's a huge part of Aliens Earth.
And that is a huge part of Aliens Earth. And that person doesn't get to decide just because they paid for it. That is not how life works. And if that's how life works, that's not a life I want to live.
Fabulous. Aliens Earth is deep on so many different levels. So we're going to go through the rest of the episodes now. We told you there'd be spoilers, but I believe that episode 4 of Aliens Earth was the pinnacle of the series.
Absolutely.
And everything about that episode was sensational. Not just the writing, not just the threading with the premise and the concept and the overall aliens property, but literally the directing, the acting. You can see the directing, the acting working together. It's insane. The lighting, the framing. It is a fucking masterpiece of television. And then we go to the rest of the series, which we're going to talk about right now. Episode 5, In Space No One, ... A very lovely reference to the original tagline of Alien, which was, in space, no one can hear you scream, which in itself is very deep because a lot of people don't understand in space, there's no sound, which is why it's fucking deep, but it's still the tagline of Aliens. An outer space vessel in peril leads to a dangerous reckoning. Very simple. Go ahead, babe.
Number 6 we're on, right? The fly. Tensions rise as powerful enemies confront each other and a dangerous plan uploads and curiosity leads to deadly consequences. I have to stop here and say, Scott and I absolutely were blown away. We watched it twice, episode 4, and then we sped through 5, 6, and 7 in an evening because it's
not the same show anymore.
It's not, well, no, it's just we have a different opinion about this. It wasn't as good as episode 4. It wasn't as well threaded as episode 4, but I feel okay about if it's 8 episodes and 4 of them are good, that's a winning season. Or at least it's a break even season. I sort of feel like that a little bit, and I also feel like it's worth seeing what happens with all the storytelling that was built in episode 4. Scott feels a little bit differently, I think, because Scott thinks all the episodes should be as good as episode 4 was.
And that's like, it is so exceptional. Episode 4, that I was so hopeful, babe. I was so hopeful. I saw episode 4 and I saw a depth of analysis and execution in the character arcs and Bobak's exceptional ability to understand the entire property and thread in some amazing shit. It did not carry through. I would love to sit down with Noah and Bobak and be like, why wasn't Bobak writing every goddamn episode? Because the two of you together were absolutely lightning.
Point of order, sir.
Yeah.
I have a posit to make.
Hit me.
I have prepared notes.
Oh, notes. Let's go.
I posit that sometimes this is an 8-episode, hour-long show, which means you watch about 49 to 52 minutes of whatever when you're doing it.
Okay.
And depending on what ads are purchased or whatever while you go pee. And in that 8 episodes, you get a beautiful, wonderful arc because there was a tent pole in episode 4 that carried you through the rest of the season. And I have data to back me up.
Hit me.
I think there are several things in pop culture, recent pop culture, that shore me up. And the first one is, if you watched The Sopranos, something took a sort of a change for the better. And I think the tentpole moment in The Sopranos was season 3, episode 11, The Pine Barrens. And I'll read you very briefly that description. That episode features Paulie and Christopher getting hopelessly lost in the woods in an attempt to collect money, which often is seen as a metaphor for the entire series itself, combining comedy, violence, and fate. And I agree.
It's a good
if you
episode.
watch that one episode, you would go back and watch the whole thing again if you saw that on the TV. A second one is The Last of Us, season 1, episode 3, called Long, Long Time. This episode focuses on characters Bill and Frank, exploring themes of love, loss, and the desire for a meaningful life, making it a standout for its emotional storytelling and rich character development. And I will tell you with honesty that I watched The Last of Us without him. I started it because he was too busy and was like, I'll watch it someday, or I don't really care.
Continue.
And I got to episode 3 and I thought, if he ever catches up to me, which he may or may not, and he realizes that I didn't stop and tell him, you must come watch this show with me,
Oh, Bears is good.
he would be mad. And that is actually what happened, I think.
Yeah. So, because we have a certain amount of time, we're going to go through this. Episode 6, The Fly. They sort of, in Aliens Earth, they sort of introduce a monster we really haven't seen before. And in the context of episode 6 itself, it's great. It's creepy. It's horror. It's really well done. The lack of continuity between episode 6 and the monster and the rest of the series bothered me only as a storyteller. I'm like, why wouldn't I have seen these fucking cunts before? And then we get episode 7, The Emergence. An escape plan is hatched, leading to a breaking of factions, betrayals, and a shocking confrontation. Episode 7 felt like there was an executive of Hulu's nephew who showed in the writing room and be like, now, here's what you got to do. You guys don't know how to tell stories. And fucking there was some 22-year-old who's showing up in the writing room fucking with Noah Hawley and saying, this is how it has to be. It made no fucking sense.
Also, they got greenlit for 8 episodes, so you have to be kludgy here and there, right? Like, J.R.R. Tolkien didn't get greenlit for 8 books, and that's why the fucking 2 towers exist. Sometimes you gotta cut some corners.
I'll give you that. I will give you that. Bottom line, and I'll extrapolate after this. Bottom line is, it's a great series. Noah did a great job. Episode 4 is spectacular. The monsters are awesome. There's so much super cool shit that I hope they get a season 2. I think they get a season 2. But for the time, we got to talk about a couple things. Number 1, the timeline. So this Prometheus is the year 2089, 2093. Alien Covenant is 2104, and then Aliens Earth takes place in 2120, which is 2 years before the movie Aliens. Aliens Earth does a pretty good job of setting up Alien, which is Weyland-Yutani has knowledge of this alien species and is tracking it down. And then we go to 2142, which is Aliens Romulus, which A and I have covered in this series in the series before. It's wonderful. It's
wonderful.
Fabulous. I enjoyed the shit out of the third best Aliens movie. And then we go to 2179, which is Alien and Aliens 3. Never watch Aliens 3. It's fucking hot garbage. 2381 is Alien Resurrection. Fucking possibly the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. It's terrible. It's literally Highlander 2, which is, hey, we're going to write a sequel to a movie we've never actually watched ever in our life. And then I have to say that because 2514, fucking Aliens Phalanx, bitches. Oh, shit. Your fucking boy right here who fucking wrote Aliens Phalanx, which is canonical. Let's go to the monsters real quick.
Real quick.
The fucking 8-eyed octagonal eye monster was whoever invented this shit is fantastic and will absolutely go to your imaginary heaven.
And
No
absolutely
question.
unseats Gremlin as the cute horror story. Because that
It is cute.
is
You're
kind
right.
of cute when it gets sort of smart. It
It's
gets kind
super
of cute.
fucking cute. And the thing with this motherfucker is Alien is about rape. Bottom line, Dan O'Bannon wrote Alien and was like, I want to communicate to the people of male persuasion what it's like to get fucking raped, right? And he did that with fucking literally oral. The face hugger is about oral rape because that's the only thing guys will understand because they don't have a vagina.
Well, that is all
It
news
gets
to me
deep.
right at the end of this
It gets Dan O'Bannon is fucking deep. Also, Dan O'Bannon suffered from chronic heartburn, which is why the chest burster is all about fucking coming through your chest.
I really think this should have come up sooner.
I should have mentioned this. This monster we're looking on the screen right now is what I call the space nipple. The space nipple is a bad motherfucker we only see at the end. And then also the fucking, oh my God, the fucking arterial vein dropping vampire monster is great. And of course,
Kind of cute.
on the screen, you call me cute and you think that's cute, I'm fucked up right now. The sheep alien with the eye invader, and I mentioned the rape concept because the alien that's not the xenomorph will skull fuck you in your eye and then take over your entire body. And that is some deep ass writing within the context of this show. I think that is about it for our concept of alien.
For this episode of Deep Cuts.
I highly recommend Aliens Earth. Watch the whole thing. It's great. The acting is sensational. The 6 actors who portray a grown adult being a child in a grown adult's body is phenomenal. It's so good. The context of writing, acting, and directing is sensational. It's some of the best I've ever seen. Get to episode 4. It is a pinnacle. The rest of the series is bad. I do have to mention a couple of things that are standard in sci-fi. Number 1, substandard electrical. Can you not contract some IBEW motherfuckers to come in and put in some goddamn electrical lights that work? The constant flashing, turning down, flashing of the goddamn lights. Stop it. Jesus Christ. Electrical lights work. They don't need to flash all the time. There doesn't need to be smoke all the goddamn fucking time. And also, on the ship, episodes 2, 3, and 4, where are those sparks coming from? There's nothing but fucking an hour of sparks. That's not how sparks work. It's not an active arc welder laboratory in that ship, but that's a minor net. I give it 8 out of 10.
Next week, we'll chat about our famous...
69. No, we talked about this. It's movies.
Okay, snap us in.
We're here. That is it for this episode of Deep Cuts. In the next episode, we're going to talk about how episode 71 of Deep Cuts is episode 69, but with 2 fingers up your ass, as George Carlin said. And we're going to get into all the movies that make the best 69 references. It's going to be great.
You all smell a lot like flowers.
I may have surprised my spouse and best friend with this decision. You all smell an awful lot like flowers. And that is it for us. Good day, sirs and or ma'ams. All right, we're out. We're done.
That was a tiny bit. Oh, wait, we're not done. We just stopped recording. That was a tiny bit of a surprise. I'm just
But
saying.
I said it in the beginning of the episode.
I mean, right, but on the air.
Dude, it's not easy.
Oh,
It's not easy being this gorgeous creature on my right. It's just not. It's just not.
I'm just.
Cobalt,
I
yes,
can't
it's time
even
for some
wear
research.
writing on a T-shirt.
Get to work, Cobalt. I need all. Why frozen? All of the references to 69 in movies. And you fucking bitches, you may take liberties. I'm not going to be the pedantic, accurate. Pedantic.
I know,
Oh.
meaning you're not going to be the pedant.
You know what? This is why
I guess I'm being the pedant right now.
Yes, you are.
In this moment, I just learned something today. You can't accuse someone of being a pedant.
Why I
without
married
being a
this
pedant.
girl, because her vocabulary is exceptional and she understands. We got a dog in here? Anyways, so all you cunts, let's fucking great. Let's go. Next episode's gonna be fun. All you motherfuckers get to work. We do this shit for you for free every goddamn week. Help us. Help us. I need some deep, deep, deep thoughts. You may not reference Bill and Ted. The only rule is no Bill and Ted references. We know. We were there on opening night. We saw that shit. Yeah, Chris Grawl says, a surprise 69 episode is always fun. Babe, that's not me. That's Grawl. You can't get mad at me. Chris, she can't get mad at me. I didn't do nothing.
I hope we're about to be chatting on the phone downstairs, Chris, while you play Fortnite. And you will rue the day. Okay, we're going to get out of here, you guys.
All right, guys, let's switch over to Maine. Also, I'm a little sauced up, not going to lie.
That's why we're mostly getting out of here.
Shit, hold on. I'll put this over here. Hey, bitches.
See?
All right, guys, that's it for us. Well, babe, vamp for a second. I'm having trouble.
Okay, I'm going to vamp for a sec. Yes, you might have seen Reese. She is absolutely ready for that
Fucking
end of day treat. That is, it's
crackhead.
absolutely dark out, and now
Is she
she
here?
knows.
Where is she?
She's back in the bedroom. She's fussy.
Reese, come here. Hey, come here, Reese. Come here.
Nope. This is not helping him get off the air. Oh, whoop! Don't hurt your back.
This
There you go.
fucking crackhead, you guys.
Oh,
You
what
get
a
the piece?
cute
Up.
girl.
I got it.
It's all right, pieces.
There's no way to get her to look at the camera. But this crackhead, she is, how old is she now, babe?
11. Come here.
11, which is 77 in people years. If I live to be 77, I'm literally going to ask for ice cream sundaes and chocolate all the goddamn day long. So I don't get upset with her. Squeaks is only 70. Fuck that bitch. She can fucking man up. Oh, my peanut. All right, good girl.
Okay.
Here you go.
So we clearly have to get off the air. So
Suck it. Suck it. All right. Here we go. We're out.
okay.
Why? Where's the goddamn?
Okay.
I don't know how to do this.
Okay. Go.
Babe, I unfortunately
Here,
can't.
Stop streaming right there.
Oh.
See it.
I gotta
you
do
need
this
me to
first off.
grab- Okay.
Where? Oh, here we. That's the problem. Got it. I got it now. Boop, 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 boop. All right, you bitches. We are fucking.
Hang up. Just
Goodbye.
please hang up.